Greetings, adventurous drinkers, and welcome to my bar. My name is Ansel Birch, the Indecisionist, and I will be your Dungeon Barkeep today. Now, I am no expert mixologist. Heck, I am tending bar in a cave, but I have an adventurous spirit and a willingness to try anything once. How about you? Well, we're going to test that today. I am going to make a drink entirely using the roll of some gaming dice and my own disregard for my personal safety. And I tell you what, before I ever recommend that you drink it, I will try it myself. Does that sound like a deal? Excellent. Then let's get started. As I said, I'm going to be using a standard set of gaming dice for today's cocktails, choosing every single ingredient, and that starts with everyone's favorite household caltrop, the D4. So let's roll a D4 in our essentials chart. That is a 4, so we are going to be putting 2 times the liquor in today's cocktail. 2 times the liquor, 2 times the sicker. I don't think that's how that phrase is supposed to go, but here we are. Next up is a garnish, and we'll go ahead and use a D6 to choose our garnish today. There we go, a 6. So we're going to be putting bitters in our cocktail. Basically, we are making a 3 liquor, we are making a double liquor old-fashioned, I guess, effectively. I may make the executive decision to take it all the way to an old-fashioned and add some simple syrup in there. We will see. But the next thing that we have to choose is that liquor. So we're going to go ahead and roll 2d10, and that's going to choose the liquors for today's cocktail. Okay, we've got an 8, which is Cachaça, which I'm very excited. That's the first time that's come up in random, as far as I can recall. And that is a 10. And 10s explode here. You can see it there in the corner. That was a 10. 10s explode on this channel, which means we are going to put 3 liquors in today's cocktail. So I am going to go ahead and pull out another set of dice here. All right. And, all right. So on that, we have a 6 and another 10. 10s explode here on this channel, so I'm going to re-roll both of these percentile die. So we've got Cachaça and Tequila and Brandy and more Cachaça. Okay. So we're going to do a double shot. We're going to do 2 ounces of Cachaça, 1 ounce of Brandy, 1 ounce of Tequila. I think that's the best way to make that work. Friends, this is going to be like, I don't know what this is going to be like. But first, just to prove that I do have a chance of getting something like success out of this, I am going to roll a d12 to give myself a little pop quiz of popular bar terms from the list right here. That is a 9. Jigger! I'm so glad that Jigger came up because I am going to need one today. Jiggers are these little measuring devices that you've seen bartenders use. They come in all different shapes and sizes. I personally really... this one feels really nice in the hand. I'm a big fan of it. But this one, which was given to me by a viewer, and I really love, if you can see in the inside, has a lot of smaller measures available all in one jigger, which is phenomenal. So you can go up to 2 ounces, which, shocking, is 4 tablespoons. I know, who knew? Weights and measures were interchangeable. And it goes all the way down to 1/8 of an ounce at the bottom there. So super handy, very nice. But for your usual cocktail needs, one like this is traditional, nice, gets the job done, and takes care of the majority of your measuring needs. So these are jiggers. They're absolutely indispensable if you're going to do measured cocktails, especially ones that have lots of ingredients and need to be balanced really carefully. So, jiggers. All right. I just washed some of those, so that was handy that they were on hand for that. All right. The last thing to do before we start mixing is to pick a name for this nightmare. I've got a whole bunch of new names right here for you to take a look at. These all came from people just like you who submitted names online. And if you would like to be one of the people like you who submit names to be part of the show, you can head on over to indecisionist.com/dungeonbarkeep. The link is in the doobly-doo, and you can submit your names through the form that is posted there. But what are we going to call this one? Brew of Insanity. Okay. That feels like a very apt description of what is about to happen. We have cachaça, tequila, and brandy coming together to make the Brew of Insanity. Let's head on over to the bar top cam and see how it all comes together. So we're going to start with our mixing tin. This feels like something that's going to want a lot of chilling and agitation. So I am going to put in a few d6 of cold damage. There we are. All right. Cachaça. Tequila. Brandy. All right, as mentioned before, we're going to be using 2 ounces of cachaça. So we'll start with that. I have an Abelha organic cachaça, which is exciting. Now, don't tell any Brazilians that I told you this, but cachaça is basically a rum. It is rum that is made from a different part of... It is rum that is made from a different part of the sugar making process. So it's not made from molasses in quite the same way. So it has a bit more of an aggressive punch to it. It's definitely more, it's definitely not as sweet as a standard rum would be. And so it does have a lot of qualities that make it distinctive, but effectively it is in many ways just a rum by another name. So, don't tell any Brazilians I told you that. All right, so that was 2 ounces of cachaça. Now we will add 1 ounce of tequila, just to keep on theme. And finally, 1 ounce of brandy. Bit of an old world flair to this. These are all, you know, established old world, traveled on boats kind of liquors, so that's exciting. All right, we are going to go ahead and throw a few splashes of bitters in here. And as I indicated earlier, this feels like an old-fashioned to me, so even though we are going to shake it, I'm going to go ahead and lean in and add a little bit of Demerara simple syrup. We'll do 1/2 ounce to start with. Yeah, because that brandy's pretty sweet. So, will I want more simple syrup later? We will find out together. All right, so now it's time for us to shake it. All right. And since it's warm, let's make this a summery kind of cocktail. And we'll serve it over ice. Behold, the Brew of Insanity. But how does it taste? Okay, dare I say it, this is delicious. And it's delicious in a way that subverts a lot of tasty, summery, cold drinks that include tequila, in that you can definitely tell that this is going to be aggressive. It's got a lot of alcohol in it, and there's no getting around it. This is akin to like a Four Horsemen. You can taste the individual alcohols. You can taste the bitterness and the like sugar refining notes of the cachaça. You can taste the tequila right up front. The brandy is at the back, sort of steering the whole thing and giving it some sweetness, holding hands with that simple syrup, all of it together, creating this beautiful blend that really, it's got like floral notes to it. It's got like a honey citrus sort of vibe, even though we put none of those things in there. Wow. I am blown away by how drinkable this is. This cocktail should not have worked. I really thought that this was just going to blow the back of my head off, or just be way too bitter. But that simple syrup addition, I think, really mellowed it out. The brandy is really playing to win. This is a delicious drink. I honestly, I think the only thing I would do is add maybe just a splash of lime and a lime wheel for color. But honestly, I don't think it needs it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe a maraschino, just to like finish it off. But this is a really delicious cocktail. I'm really proud of myself. But it begs the question, where does this belong in your adventure? And I think that this is the drink that you. Okay, there are two ways to go with this, and I've fallen back on this a couple times recently, so I'm gonna bring it up and then immediately abandon it, and that is to say that I think that this could be a tip to your players that the really scary bad guy that they're about to face is really scary. The combat is going to be hard, but it's level appropriate. They're going to be fine. This is a you're going to be fine kind of cocktail, because it sounds really like a punch to the face. It is just 4 liquors and some sugar water. There is absolutely nothing here to save you, but you've got this, and it's actually going to be fun and nice. I think if you're really proud of an encounter and you've talked it up, and the bad guy is someone that they've been looking forward to fighting for a while, there's a certain sense that, okay, we're gonna be in trouble, and this is the drink that says, nah, actually, you're gonna be okay. You're gonna manage. So there's a certain amount of, maybe this is a DM code drink, or the world telling them to be at ease. But I think more to the prompt in world. What is the place where this drink would make sense in a fantasy setting? 2 of these liquors come from Central America in our real world. Brandy is, of course, an old world drink, but it was one that it shipped well, so it was taken all over the world. I personally have been trying to get away from colonial narratives in my adventure settings. So I wouldn't want to include any of the real world implications of the brandy having gotten to the area where cachaça and tequila are traditionally made. But if this was the drink that married 2 societies, that, there's a group of people who came from afar and found themselves in this, tropical, equatorial region of your planet where, they have similar growing situations to South and Central America. There's an opportunity there to make this the drink that unified the newcomers with the locals, and bound them in their trade agreements. If this is the beginning of a transatlantic trade network that is that is created with equity, I think there's a huge opportunity there. You know, the locals know what they have. The locals are not taken advantage of by the colonists or by the traders who come to their lands. And as a result, when our players arrive, when our heroes arrive in this culture, they have the opportunity to be given something that is celebratory of when the first people of their homeland came to this part of the world. You know, it is a drink of peace. It is a drink that unites their cultures in a way that no one thinks it should. You know, maybe there's a narrative to be had there where at first there was some strife, but there, you know, after initial confrontations, a peace was reached, and this drink is the result, right? It shouldn't work. It's way too there's way too much potential and alcohol and punch to it that should have gone wrong, but when it comes right down to it, it didn't, and that's beautiful and worthy of celebration. And so if this is the traditional drink that they make whenever someone visits from the land across the sea, this would make sense as the drink that our players receive, or our heroes receive, when they first arrive off of the ship in this new land, as they are about to embark on their adventure to find whatever it is or save whoever. So yeah, I'm pleased by the drink, and I'm pleased by the potential that it offers in this like expansion of your world and shipping situation. Anything that offers an opportunity to work ships into an adventure is always a good time in my book. So all that being said, thank you so much for joining me here today. I am the Dungeon Barkeep, and adventurous drinkers, I don't just offer this show, I also am part of offering TTRPG Pickup Con, an upcoming game convention that will be July 22nd through 24th. Sign-up day will be coming up on July 9th, so if you are a TTRPG player or you would like to be, this is a wonderful opportunity to play online in a safe environment with an amazing group of welcoming players and DMs. So definitely head on over to ttrpgpickupcon.com. You can also get there on the Indecisionist website at indecisionist.com. So lots of opportunities to play there. I'm also working on releasing a series of travelogues from my recent trip to Ireland on my blog at indecisionist.com. So there is a lot to see. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Facebook. And you'll get all of the updates as they come out. But until next time, friends, drink adventurous.